There comes a moment in everyone's life when the world feels a little too loud, when the voices of others drown out your own. You start to question your worth, your purpose, your beauty, your strength. You begin to measure yourself against the impossible standards of others, and little by little, you forget the most important truth of all. You are enough exactly as you are. Self-love is not arrogance. It's not about being selfish or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about accepting who you are, every flaw, every scar, every dream, every failure, and understanding that you deserve love, respect, and happiness simply because you exist. But here's the problem. We've been taught to love others first. We're told that humility means putting ourselves last. We think that confidence must be earned through success, validation, or beauty. Yet true confidence doesn't come from what others see in you. It comes from what you believe about yourself when no one is watching. 1. The mirror test. Seeing yourself clearly. Stand in front of a mirror. Really look, not at your hair, not at your skin, not at your clothes. Look into your eyes. The person staring back at you has fought battles no one knows about. They've cried silently, laughed loudly, and kept going even when everything inside them wanted to stop. That person deserves your love more than anyone else. You don't have to wait for someone else to validate your beauty or your worth. You don't need permission to love yourself. When you start treating yourself with kindness, your reflection begins to change, not because your face does, but because your energy does. When you look at yourself with compassion instead of criticism, you stop seeing flaws. You start seeing stories. Every imperfection becomes proof that you've lived, that you felt deeply, that you survived. So, here's your first affirmation. I am enough. I am worthy of love exactly as I am. Say it until you believe it, because the words you repeat become the beliefs you live by. 2. Letting go of the inner critic. Inside all of us lives a voice, the one that whispers, "You're not good enough. You're too much. You're not ready." That voice feeds on comparison, fear, and past pain. But remember this, that voice is not your truth. It's your training. Maybe you grew up hearing that love had to be earned through perfection, obedience, or success. Maybe someone made you feel like you weren't enough unless you achieved something extraordinary. Over time, that belief took root, and it became the critic in your head. But today, you get to rewrite that story. You get to say, I am more than my mistakes. You get to say, I forgive myself for the times I doubted my own light. Because self-love is not about being perfect. It's about being present. Each time you choose self-kindness over self-criticism, you strengthen your confidence. Each time you speak gently to yourself, you silence that old inner voice a little more. Confidence is not loud. It's peaceful. It's the calm knowing that you'll be okay no matter what others think of you. 3. The myth of external validation. We chase likes, compliments, and approval as if they could fill the emptiness inside us. But the truth is external validation is a drug. It feels good for a moment, but it fades quickly, leaving you craving more. The more you depend on the world to make you feel valuable, the less power you have over your own happiness. You start performing instead of living. You dress for others, speak for others, post for others. In the process, you lose connection with your authentic self. The secret is to reverse the direction of love, from the outside in to the inside out. When you love yourself deeply, others' opinions lose their control over you. You become unshakable, not because life gets easier, but because you know that your worth is untouchable. Your glow becomes real. Your energy becomes magnetic. And suddenly the right people are drawn to you, not because you needed them to complete you, but because you were already whole. 4. Learning to be on your own side. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly supported myself? You encourage your friends when they're struggling. You comfort them, cheer for them, tell them not to give up. But when it's you who falls, you're often the first to judge, to criticize, to say, I should have known better. It's time to become your own best friend. That means speaking to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love, with understanding, with patience, with forgiveness. It means celebrating your wins, no matter how small. It means taking care of your body, resting when you're tired, setting boundaries when you need space. You cannot build confidence on a foundation of self-neglect. You have to nourish yourself, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Every act of self-care, no matter how simple, is a declaration of self-worth. Taking a walk, journaling your feelings, saying no when something doesn't feel right. These are all small ways of saying, I matter. 5. The promise to yourself. Before this part ends, make a quiet promise. Promise yourself that from this moment forward, you'll treat yourself with the same love you so freely give others. Promise that you'll stop apologizing for being who you are. Promise that you'll believe in your own magic, even when no one else does. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You just have to be you. Because the moment you start loving yourself, truly, unapologetically, the world begins to mirror that love back to you. And that's the beginning of unshakable confidence. When we talk about self-love, it's easy to imagine it as something soft and peaceful, like bubble baths, affirmations, and smiles in the mirror. But real self-love is not always gentle. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's raw. Because to truly love yourself, you must first face yourself. You must look at the parts of your story you've been avoiding, the regrets, the guilt, the heartbreak, the mistakes, and say, even here I am worthy. Healing your relationship with yourself isn't about erasing the past. It's about transforming the meaning of it. It's about turning every wound into wisdom and every scar into strength. 1. The courage to confront your pain. There's a saying, you can't heal what you won't feel. Most people run from their pain. They bury it under work, distractions, or fake smiles. But unhealed pain doesn't disappear. It lingers, whispering that you're not enough. The first step to healing is allowing yourself to feel. Let the tears come. Let the memories surface. Allow yourself to acknowledge what hurt you without judgment, because pain that is acknowledged begins to loosen its grip. You might say to yourself, I've been through so much. I wish things had been different. That's okay. That's honest. But then add this. I am still here. I survived. I'm learning to grow from it. Every time you face your pain with compassion, you reclaim a piece of your power. You begin to realize that the things that once broke you also built you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. 2. The power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment that keep you stuck in the past. When you hold on to anger toward others or yourself, it poisons your peace. It keeps your heart heavy, your confidence low, and your energy blocked. But when you forgive, you reclaim control. You say, you no longer have power over how I feel. And sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. Forgive yourself for trusting the wrong people. Forgive yourself for staying too long where you weren't appreciated. Forgive yourself for not knowing better before you learned. Because every mistake you made was a lesson, not a life sentence. Write this down, repeat it, live it. I release the weight of my past. I forgive myself. I am free to begin again. That's not weakness. That's emotional mastery. 3. Turning wounds into wisdom. When something painful happens, you have 2 choices. You can become bitter or you can become better. Self-love means choosing better. It means asking, what can this teach me? How can I grow from this? If you were betrayed, maybe it's teaching you to set stronger boundaries. If you failed, maybe it's teaching you resilience and humility. If you lost something you loved, maybe it's teaching you to find fulfillment within. Your wounds are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of your awakening. You start to realize that every time life knocks you down, it's not to destroy you, but to direct you toward your higher self. Remember, diamonds are made under pressure, and so are you. 4. Rewriting the story you tell yourself. We all have an internal narrative, the story that plays in our minds when no one's listening. For some, that story says, I'm not smart enough. I'm not attractive enough. I always mess things up. But here's the truth. Your story is not fixed. You can rewrite it. What if instead of saying, I'm not enough, you said, I am growing every day. I am learning to love who I am becoming. I deserve to take up space in this world. Every time you replace a negative belief with an empowering one, you rewire your mind. You begin to build a new identity, one rooted in self-trust instead of self-doubt. Confidence begins in your thoughts, and your thoughts begin with choice. You can't always control what happens around you, but you can control what you tell yourself about it. That's how you become unshakable. 5. The art of gentle self-compassion. Healing takes time. There will be days when you feel strong and clear, and days when you fall back into old patterns of doubt and pain. That's okay. Healing is not a straight line. It's a spiral. Each time you come back to yourself, you rise a little higher. Be gentle with yourself on the days when you don't feel like you're making progress. Speak to yourself softly. Take breaks. Breathe deeply. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply say, "I'm doing my best, and that's enough." You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. You're learning, evolving, and becoming more you with every passing day. 6. From survival to self-respect. Once you begin to heal, something amazing happens. You stop begging for love and start choosing it. You no longer chase people who don't see your value. You stop apologizing for your boundaries. You start saying no to things that drain your peace and yes to things that make you feel alive. That's not selfishness. That's self-respect. And self-respect is the highest form of self-love. When you respect yourself, you stop settling for less. You start living in alignment with who you truly are, and that alignment becomes your superpower, the foundation of lasting confidence. Remember this. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are learning to return to yourself. And everything you've been through is guiding you toward a deeper, more unshakable kind of love, the kind that starts within. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, thought by thought, choice by choice. It's not about pretending to be fearless. It's about learning to move forward even when you feel afraid. Unshakable confidence comes from one simple truth. You trust yourself. You trust that no matter what happens, success or failure, love or loss, you can handle it. That trust is what separates people who only dream from people who do. And it all begins with how you show up for yourself every single day. 1. The confidence formula. Belief plus action plus consistency. Let's break it down. Confidence isn't built by thinking about what you want. It's built by doing. Every small promise you keep to yourself strengthens your inner foundation. When you say, "I'll wake up early," and you do, your mind learns to trust you. When you say, "I'll finish that project," and you follow through, your confidence grows. It's not about the size of the action. It's about the consistency behind it. Confidence is self-trust repeated over time. Here's a simple truth. Action comes before confidence, not after. You don't wait to feel ready. You act, and through action, you become ready. Every time you take a step, even a small one, your inner voice shifts from "I can't" to "I just did." That's the beginning of transformation. 2. The power of mindset, becoming your own coach. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can either be your biggest enemy or your strongest ally. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," ask, who says? Is it your fear talking or your truth? Your mindset determines your confidence more than any external circumstance ever will. If you believe you're capable, you'll act capable. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll live small. Start by reprogramming your self-talk. Instead of "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm learning and improving every day." Instead of "I'm afraid of failing," say, "Every mistake is a step toward mastery." Instead of "I'll never be confident," say, "I'm becoming more confident with every challenge I face." Talk to yourself like someone you deeply believe in, because you are becoming that person. 3. The ritual of self-discipline. Confidence and self-discipline are twins. You cannot have one without the other. Discipline is love in action. It's a quiet decision to do what serves you, even when you don't feel like it. When you stay disciplined, you build a quiet, grounded confidence, the kind that doesn't need to shout. Here's the secret. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means commitment. It means showing up, even imperfectly. Each time you honor your commitments to yourself, you tell your subconscious mind, "I am reliable. I am powerful. I can trust myself." That's how you become unshakable, not through control, but through consistency. 4. The energy of presence. Confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being the most present. When you are fully present, you stop worrying about what others think. You stop replaying the past or fearing the future. You simply are. That stillness, that grounded energy, it's magnetic. Try this. Next time you walk into a room, instead of wondering if people will like you, focus on liking yourself. Take a deep breath. Stand tall. Feel your feet rooted on the ground. Confidence radiates from calm energy, not chaos. From stillness, not performance. When you carry presence, you don't chase validation, you attract respect. 5. Setting boundaries that protect your peace. Loving yourself means knowing where to draw the line. You cannot build lasting confidence if you constantly allow others to drain your energy or disrespect your worth. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates that protect your peace. When you say no to what doesn't serve you, you make space for what does. You show the world and yourself that your time, your heart, and your energy are valuable. Don't fear disappointing others. Fear abandoning yourself. Each boundary you set says, I love myself enough to choose me. And that choice is what strengthens your confidence from the inside out. 6. Surround yourself with energy that lifts you. Confidence is contagious, but so is insecurity. Pay attention to the company you keep. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who remind you of your strength when you forget. If you constantly spend time around negativity, criticism, or comparison, your light will start to dim. But when you choose environments of positivity, growth, and authenticity, your energy begins to rise. Remember, you don't owe anyone access to your peace. Protect it like something sacred, because it is. 7. The practice of gratitude and self-appreciation. True confidence grows in gratitude. When you focus on what's good about yourself, your kindness, your effort, your resilience, you nurture a deeper sense of self-worth. Take a moment each day to reflect. What am I proud of today? How did I show up for myself? What did I do that made me feel alive or aligned? Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already beautiful. It reminds you that you're not lacking, you're evolving. When you appreciate yourself, the universe mirrors that energy back to you. 8. The confidence loop. Here's the ultimate truth. Confidence is a cycle. You take action, you get results, you build trust, you take more action, you grow stronger. That's the confidence loop. And once it begins, it never really ends. You keep expanding, evolving, rising. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself just how capable you are. The more you practice confidence, the more natural it becomes, like breathing. Because the real goal isn't to feel confident all the time. The goal is to know that even when you don't feel confident, you can still move forward. That's unshakable confidence. There's a quiet kind of power that comes when you finally stop running from yourself, when you stop seeking validation, stop hiding your truth, and stop apologizing for who you are. That power is called self-love in action. It's not about ego, appearance, or perfection. It's about waking up every morning, looking in the mirror, and saying, I am proud of who I'm becoming. It's the confidence that radiates from within, not because everything in your life is perfect, but because you've learned to stand strong, even when it's not. In this final chapter, we'll explore what it means to live boldly and authentically, to embrace your worth, express your truth, and walk through the world with unshakable confidence and love. 1. Living in alignment with your true self. When you love yourself deeply, you stop living for others' expectations. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop chasing roles that were never meant for you. You start to ask, what do I really want? What kind of energy do I want to give to the world? Who am I when no one is watching? That's where your power lives, in authentic alignment. Living authentically means your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony. You say what you mean. You do what feels right. You walk your own path, even when it's different from everyone else's. You realize that real freedom doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from being real. 2. Embracing imperfection, the beauty of being human. The world teaches us to chase perfection. Perfect body, perfect success, perfect confidence. But perfection is an illusion, and it's the greatest thief of joy. The most beautiful people are not flawless. They are authentic. They laugh at themselves. They admit when they're scared. They speak their truth, even when their voice shakes. That's confidence. That's courage. That's real. When you stop trying to be perfect, you make space to be whole. And being whole is infinitely more powerful than being flawless. Say to yourself, I am beautifully imperfect. My flaws are part of my story. My story makes me strong. The cracks in your heart are where the light gets in, and that light becomes your wisdom. 3. Choosing love over fear every single time. At every moment, you have two choices, love or fear. Fear says, what if I fail? Love says, what if I fly? Fear says, they won't accept me. Love says, the right people will. Fear closes your heart. Love opens it. Fear makes you shrink. Love makes you expand. When you start living from a place of love for yourself, for others, for life itself, you begin to attract experiences that match that energy. Confidence built on love is magnetic, calm, and unstoppable. You stop trying to prove yourself. You simply are yourself. That's when the universe starts to align with you, because love is the highest frequency there is. 4. Turning self-love into daily practice. Self-love isn't something you achieve once. It's something you practice every day. It's in the way you speak to yourself in the morning. It's in the way you take care of your body and your mind. It's in the way you set boundaries, chase dreams, and rest when you need to. Here are some daily rituals to help you stay aligned with self-love and confidence. Morning affirmations. Say, I am confident. I am capable. I am deserving of everything good. Repeat it until you feel it. Gratitude moments. Write down 3 things you love about yourself or your life every day. Intentional silence. Spend a few minutes alone each day to connect with your thoughts, your emotions, your dreams. Act of kindness to yourself. Do one small thing every day that makes you feel cared for: a walk, a good meal, a deep breath, a song that heals. Confidence grows in these small, consistent acts of love. 5. Radiating your light outward. When you truly love yourself, something beautiful happens. Your love begins to overflow. You stop needing others to complete you. Instead, you inspire them. You become the light in the room, not because you're trying to shine, but because you can't help it. People feel safe around your energy because it's real, grounded, and kind. You lift others up without losing yourself. That's the secret to lasting confidence. It's not just about feeling good about yourself. It's about making others feel good in your presence. Your confidence becomes service. Your self-love becomes leadership. Your energy becomes healing. And that is how you change the world, simply by being you. 6. The full circle, becoming unshakable. You've learned to face your pain, forgive your past, rebuild your confidence, and honor your worth. You've learned that loving yourself isn't selfish. It's sacred. Because when you love yourself, you stop needing permission to be who you are. You stop waiting for validation to begin. You become unshakable, not because life is easy, but because you know you can handle it all. You become your own anchor, your own safe place, your own source of love. That's the essence of unshakable confidence, not perfection, not control, but peace. 7. Your final affirmation. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved. I release fear, doubt, and comparison. I walk in confidence, peace, and purpose. I love myself fully, freely, and unapologetically. Now smile, because the person you've been searching for has been with you all along. You are the love. You are the light. You are the miracle. Glowing star and message. When you love yourself first, you don't just change your reflection, you change your reality. Confidence stops being something you chase and becomes something you embody. So go out there and live boldly. Speak your truth. Take up space. Shine brightly. Because the world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs you exactly as you are.